Alright. What's up, guys? It's Saku the Yokai. Sorry I've been on hiatus. Know it's been a while, but just been dealing with real life problems. So I have a list here for you today, and I think it's rather... It is my humble opinion, of course, but I honestly think it could theoretically happen on some of these. So without further ado, let's get into it. So like for the limits, Block Dragon, know it's busted, but we haven't really seen many like rock archetypes in the meta, and I think it'll shake it up quite a bit. Next is Blaster, Ruler of Infernos. Again, really nice card. Master Duel limited it recently, and I think it'd be fun to see, honestly. Next is Gishtira Unicorn. This, I know it won't get hit, but I think it should, because, like, it honestly just says, look at your opponent's extra deck, so that is common knowledge. And it doesn't necessarily hurt the deck, but it does, like, stop it in all of its shenanigans. Next is, this one's a want, honestly. So, Magispector Unicorn Kirin back to 1. I really love this card. I love its artwork, and I've really grown to love Magispectors as an archetype. Its effect is, during either player's turn, you could target one pendulum monster in your monster zone, and one monster your opponent controls, return them to the hand. And you can only use it once per turn, and cannot be targeted or destroyed by your opponent's card effects. This is, like, really nice, and I don't really think you can actually summon this off of any of the Magispector monsters. Next is just melee to 3, like, it could come back to 3, like, Dark Warrior shenanigans aren't that, I guess you could say, prevalent in today's meta. It'd be nice to, see what people could do with this. Next is Infernity Archfiend to 2. I personally want to see this deck, like, when it has more to it. If you've watched MBT's Full Power Infernity, it looks really neat and janky, and I would love to try this. Next is Orcust Harpor. I'm sorry, my brain is dead today. But yeah, Harpor, if you didn't play in Yugioh in 2019, this was splashable in almost every deck. Let's just keep Mermaid on the ban list, and hopefully it never comes back. Next is Plushfire. Plushfire is a really funny card, honestly. Like, look at it. It looks like a derpy spider ice cream cone, I just saw this on, like, MST TV, and I really think it'd be hilarious if it did come back, because, Pepe. Next is Gazelle to 3. Not necessarily a hot take, but I've seen a few Salamangreat lists on Master Duel, but you don't really see it too much, I really think that this could come back to 3, and not what much would change about this deck. Same with Tsuchinoko. I don't really think it's of course an extender, yes. However, it's rather not that bad of an extender. They're, like, really much better options, but with Gold Pride coming out, like, you could just save, if they hit this and this is the last card in your hand, no, and it could just special summon itself because Gold Pride has a lot of rank 3 monsters. And the same reason I think Terror Top can come back, it's a nice starter for it. Like, really, really nice starter to go into Gold Pride. And it would get more people, like, interested in playing this deck. Next, I want to do Spright Jet to 1. Sprite's still really oppressive, even without the banned link 2. Just not much more else to say on that. Next is Yata-Garasu to 3. This card has not been in the meta ever since it got released to 1. I honestly think, like, okay, say you have Trick Stars, right? So you hit Trick Star Droll combo. Okay, cool, that's fine. The reincarnation draw lock. Yata-Garasu, like, you would have to have Yata-Garasu also in hand for this. It's just more often a flimsy, like, really niche FTK for nothing. Next is Glow Up Bulb. Halk's gone. It's just a free extender at this point. So I honestly think you can bring this back to at least 1. Next is Sekka's Light. The reason I have this back at 3 is because of the new pack, Cyberstorm Axis, I believe, having super heavy samurai stuff. This is the perfect card for them because they lack, I don't want to say they lack draw power, but like, the only 2 decks you really see this in is Super Heavies and Burning Abyss, which, I mean, come on now. Like, really? Like, the only other spell you run in Super Heavies is Berserker Soul at most. Next is Desire to 3. Yeah, it's not that bad anymore, in my humble opinion. But yeah, it's just an okay draw card at best because it still can get ashed. Another one is Giant Trunade. This was a funny one because, like, with the returning of Harpy's Feather Duster, the Unlimited Raigeki, I honestly think this card could come back because, like, they've been unbanning crazy shit, like, with, DeFi coming to 3, what's the other one? Macro, Skill Drain, all of these cards coming to 3, and I really think that this could theoretically come back. Because you're not necessarily losing your spell and trap cards, you're gaining them back to your hand, which, I mean, yeah, it's just really dumb, but it's really hilarious if you could pull it off. Next thing that should come back, at least to 2, is like Card of Demise. True Draco really hasn't been meta relevant in quite a while. I think we could theoretically, let pass them a bone to say, you know what I mean. But yeah, like Card of Demise to 2, because Yosenju's, like, of course y'all know that's probably one of my favorite decks. I've probably mentioned it before a few times on my channel. But Yosenju's inadvertently got hit when this got limited. And, like, again, with Tenki and all that stuff, I always make the joke that Yosenju gets shafted every ban list because of some other deck. But anyways, moving on, I think Gold Sark to 2 would be really hilarious, but also really nice for, like, Thunder Dragon players, Metafist players. Like, this card benefits so many decks, and it could really shake up the meta again. However, with the releasing of the new, like, Draco Slayer cards, I really think that Draco Face-Off can come back to 3. Because, or even then, like, semi-limited. The effect is reveal 1 Draco Slayer Pendulum monster and 1 Drake Overlord Pendulum monster from your deck. Your only opponent picks 1 at random to place in your Pendulum Zone or special summon your choice. And you add the other card to your extra deck face up. I mean, it's really good on paper, but I also see that this could maybe get ashed. Maybe. I'm not sure. But it's just like, it's one of those cards that was really good back in the day that really wouldn't be good now. Because, like, at this point, Draco Slayer's... I don't know if Draco Slayer is topped or not. But it would be fun to see what they could do with 3 of these, or even 2 of these, for a matter of fact. So other than that, Runic Tip. Neat. Like, this is just, this is bad, man. Just, Runic has become the new Zodiac in a way, and it's been really oppressive on the meta. I think it's time to limit it. Just a bit. Burn players, you would love this. I think Chain Strike can come back to 2. Honestly, it's hilarious because I used to play Chain Burn myself back in the day, and I honestly could see this card coming back. Because, like, you have multiple cards acting multiple effects in one turn, you know? And it's just weird. I don't see it being that good. The same reason for Infernity Launcher. Like, this deck is really neat and jank, and I would really love to see it back, like, at least as a decent rogue contender. So, need I say more? Butterfly Dagger-Elma. So I was kind of like, what else do I put at 1 that could theoretically go to 1? The only thing I really see this being good in is maybe some warrior equipped jank, or that really flimsy FTK that, like, it had Magic Library, Elma, and Gearfried, the one that popped. That FTK's really, really old, and it's just not good anymore. Like, of course, they could probably ash Magical Library, and just be done with that entire FTK. So, yeah. So, Premature Burial could be a fun card to add back into the meta. Again, it would be used as an extender. But I think it's fair to have it back at 1, I would love to help out my fellow True Draco players on this when I say Diagram can come back to 2. With Misk at 1, I think we kind of checked the True King Dino problem. So, I mean, it could, happen again, but it'd be less powerful because they only have 1 Misk, and it is searchable. So, I think it's fine. This one, why I gotta still limit this, I'm sorry, again, my brain is dead today, but this would be awesome back to 3. Like, I can think of, like, really niche decks. But Barrier Statue of the Winds is just gone. So I really think, like, the deck I see this benefiting the most is maybe Flu. And I guess you could argue that it's still a tier 1.5 deck. But, honestly, I think this is okay to come back to at least 2 or 3. Runic Fountain. This is a draw 3 every turn. This is not okay. Yeah, so, nice recursion. It says up to 3. You draw every turn with this. This is really, really not okay. So I think limiting it should be fine. And a single, like, form of back row disc removal just destroys it. Honestly, Time Seal is just a funny one. I want to put it at 2 to see the jank that people create. Harpy's Feather Charm. This is a horrid floodgate. So the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh, as they say. And in this list, we don't need Flu having the cracked out boards that it has with this card. So, like, I think limiting this should be fair enough. But other than that, Red Reboot to 1 isn't bad. I'd say it could come to 3 for all it matters. But it shouldn't have been banned in the first place. Like, come on, Konami. Next, for all my Thunder Dragon players, I am one of these. We all would love to see Colossus come back because we never got to experience the fun times that was Nemesis Corridor activate and then just summon Colossus off that corridor. You did if you play Master Duel and have this deck. Believe me, it is the funnest feeling in the world. This is to honestly check a lot of decks here, but it's not to the point where we are allowing 3. That's all there is to say. This one was my personal choice, okay? So with all these, like, really, really high skill decks running around, like, would it really be outlandish to unban Elder Entity Norden? Like, alright, so hear me out. It's a great super poly target. That is undeniable. But this could check a lot, and I mean a lot of overpowered decks this format. You have, like, you know, Naturia Runic. They could set up like Barkion and Beast, and, you know, they could just ruin your entire deck, you know. However, Norden can check that instantly. And it also serves as a free extender as well. So Beatrice to 2, I kind of am curious to see how this would go. I see a lot of decks benefiting from this. Virtual World, that's a really good one. I think the new rank 9 they can theoretically go into is just a negate. So I really think this would be a fun idea to play around with. Daigusto Emerald. This one I've been wanting, like, semi-limited to unlimited for a long time. It has great recursion, and with the format turning into who can out-resource the opponents, I really think this could come back, and I really wouldn't like bat an eye to it because, well, it is a nice rank 4, but it's fair. It's really fair. For the bans, they are only 3. Yugioh, the Supreme Magical Force. There's just some jank crap I saw with, like, on Master Duel. Not specifically with branded, but they kind of creature swapped it, and I found that really hilarious, but also it's not fun when almost everyone is running it. Again, we're cracking down on Kashtira because this card is just nasty. Diablosis has got to go, fam. There's just no more that needs to be said about this. But most people say that the Gimmick Puppet needs to be banned. Most people say that Ibly and all this stuff needs to be banned. No, ban the problem. Ban branded expulsion. Oof, that is hard to say. But yeah, so you can just do so many nutty things with this. It is really not fair to shut down your opponent's summoning monster. To shut down your opponent's summoning monsters. That is really not okay. But this has been the list. Some honorable mentions may go to, like, you know, just random stuff. Like, if you have any, you feel like I've done you wrong with this list, just put your honorable mentions in the comments, and I will be sure to take them into account. Other than that, this has just been my opinion. I really would love to see a list like this soon. But other than that, if you enjoyed, hit the like, subscribe if you wish, and I'm signing off for now. Peace.